one more game. Last game of the regular season, we're going against the Arizona Cardinals, which this should be the lock game of the week. I don't see the 49ers losing this at all, right? Because there's a lot on the line. Believe it or not, there's a lot to go around. Last game, it wasn't the prettiest, right? But a win is a win. I'll take it. We did win in overtime. Robbie Gould did miss the game-winning field goal towards the end of the fourth quarter. It is what it is. Our defense didn't play that great either. We allowed 3 touchdowns. We had no sacks. It was really bad. It was really frustrating, especially going against Jared Stidham. Am I right? I know I was frustrated, but you know what? We did come out with a win. And the only thing that broke, besides our defense playing so well as a recent, because we're still on a 9-game winning streak. We're on a 9-game winning streak now, going against the Arizona Cardinals. We're on a 6-game losing streak, so that's also very nice. But one record or one thing that did break was Brock Purdy. He lost his 100 plus passer rating since he starts, right? So last week, I think he had like a 93 QB passing rating, and so that broke the streak. But that's okay. Going into the Arizona Cardinals, really, what do they have? What do they play for? Like I said before, they are on a 6-game losing streak. Okay, they don't even know who their quarterback is. I think they're going to start David Blau again. So they lost Colt McCoy. They lost Kyler Murray. D Hop didn't play last week, so he's not going to be out there. They only have one guy who's really showing out, and this is because this is pretty much his swan song, sort of say. JJ Watt, he's been going out there and playing phenomenal, but it's going to be tough for him to play good against the Niners. Our offensive line is doing pretty darn good. Brock Purdy has 4 starts and has 4 sacks. So I like that. I like that a lot more than having 4 starts and getting sacked 8 times, right? So it is what it is. Going forward, this game means a lot because we need to win this game. And I think we will. I know we will win this game with ease. I say that because we want the Niners to get the 1 seed for the NFC. Now, the only way we could do that is if the Philadelphia Eagles lose their game against the New York Giants. Now, this is huge, divisional game. A lot of people are like, oh, there's no way the Eagles are going to lose against the Giants. Well, they've been struggling without Jalen Hurts. And this is the last game of the regular season, right? So we need them to lose, but they can't lose because they got the Cowboys right behind them. Do I think they could lose? Absolutely. Any given Sunday, am I right? But the New York Giants, they're going to go out there and they're going to go out there to play. It's a divisional game. It's the last game of the season. They want to at least have one more win under their belt before the season ends. Now, as far as Jalen Hurts and how healthy he is going into that game, he was limited in practice. So it is not a for sure deal that he will be going out there and playing for the Philadelphia Eagles. But what do you do if you are the Eagles head coach or the GM, right? Do you risk it? Put Jalen Hurts out there and risk re-aggravating that injury? Or do you play it safe and hope that your team could pull off a dub and save Jalen Hurts for 2 weeks, right? So this week and then the bye week, in hopes that they could beat them with Gardner Minshew, who has not been playing bad. He's been playing very well. He's very confident. Good guy. Always rooting for the guy, especially when he was with Jacksonville. That's besides the point. What do you do there? I really hope they don't play Jalen Hurts just so the chances of them losing are a lot higher. But we want the Niners to get the first seed, right? And not saying that I'm scared of whatever team we're going up to face, because there's a possibility where we might face the Seattle Seahawks, a possibility that we might go out there and face the Green Bay Packers or the Detroit Lions. I'm not afraid of any of those teams. I'm really not, right? But I like going in with a bye week, the first week of the playoffs. I think it's great matchups between any of those teams: Lions, Seattle, Packers. Our defense is just playing phenomenal, and these teams are hitting a hot streak. Except for the Seattle Seahawks, they slow down tremendously. I don't think they'll be able to keep up with the 49ers defense nor their offense. Talking about their offense, Brock Purdy. I said this almost every week, right? How fortunate are we to be on our third string QB and talking about getting the first seed in the NFC? How crazy is that? What other team can say that? Honestly, Brock Purdy has done so much for the Niners. I am so excited. And to see what he does going into the playoffs, that's going to be huge, because then what do we do, right? What do we do with our QB situation going forward? And which I'm going to be talking a lot about that after the playoffs. So stay tuned for Niner Talk. It's going to be a lot of fun and a lot of headaches, but it's part of the game, right? Brock Purdy, BCB, Brock the Rock, he's the guy. I love him. I love his confidence. He's been playing very well, and I do believe he will be playing well again. Now, is Deebo Samuel coming back? I'd rather save him, right? I'd rather save him and let him get ready for the playoffs, and hopefully he be safe for 2 weeks. Like I said, we need the Eagles to lose, right? But going into this next game with the Arizona Cardinals, I think the biggest thing here is to, it's hard to say, but try to stay healthy, right? We can't afford to lose any players going into the playoffs. I know stuff being said, especially like with what happened Monday night with Damar Hamlin, which prayers up for him, hopefully for a great recovery, just everything for him and his family. So if you guys didn't know what happened there, he did suffer a very bad injury, a life-threatening injury, where he is in critical care in the hospital from the time that I'm recording this video. So prayers up for Damar Hamlin. But injuries, right? We can't afford to sit our players. We can't afford to do so because we got to be fresh for the playoffs. And also, who do you sit, right? Kind of like what Kyle Shanahan said in the press conference. Oh, he could sit this guy and this guy, but then what's this guy and this guy and this guy going to think? Am I not that good? Am I not the starter? That's just what he said in the press conference, and I completely agree. I mean, the way Kyle Shanahan plays, he plays the whole season, right? There's no breaks. We're gonna go full throttle. We're gonna show what the Niners have, and they're gonna go out there and dominate like how they've been doing this season. Let's make this 9-game winning streak into a 10-game winning streak. Let's break some records. Let's have Brock Purdy out there, man. And I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, but the Niners have no chance of making it to the Super Bowl." Why not? Why don't we have a chance? We got the defense to do so. We have the offensive firepower to do so. We had the offensive firepower before we traded for Christian McCaffrey. And now that we got Christian McCaffrey, it's kind of like a cheat code. You know, what are the Niners going to do? We have Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy, the last pick in the draft, being a top 10 QB rest of the season. Come on, man. And a lot of it has to do with the play scheme and the weapons that the Niners have. Give credit where credit is due. I'm super excited to see what happens in the playoffs. If we get the bye week, if not, I do think we're going to be successful no matter what. Two key factors that I want to see in this game. Number one is our corners, right? I was kind of disappointed with the way we performed last week against the Raiders. But Jarrett Stidham out there, and we let Davante Adams go out and get, what was it, a 50-yard touchdown. Don't want to talk about it, but I want to see adjustments, right? I want to see them play a little bit better. I want to see them ready for the playoffs. So that's number one. Number two, Brandon Aiyuk. And I know you're thinking, what more do you want to see from Aiyuk? Exactly. I want to see consistency. I want to keep whatever defense we're going to be playing up against in the playoffs on their toes with Brandon Aiyuk. This guy is phenomenal. That last drive, right? The last drive to go up and win the game with the kick in the fourth quarter. It was all Brandon Aiyuk. I mean, you give credit with Brock Purdy, right? He got the ball to point A to point B, but Brandon Aiyuk was that guy. He's him. He is phenomenal. The yards after catch. I know he had a bad drop early in the game, but he made it up. He's going out there. He's balling out, and he's as he should be. This is a contract year, so we want to sign him long term. I know I want him long term, but having him and then both Debo. So if Brandon Aiyuk could stay consistent this game going into the playoffs, you have Brandon Aiyuk, Deebo Samuel, and George Kittle, who's been playing phenomenal these past few weeks, just phenomenal. And then you have Christian McCaffrey out there. What do you do as a defense? How do you prepare for that game? You can't. You can't. It's the Niners. So those are the two key factors that I want to see going forward into the playoffs. Now, this week should be a lot of fun. Hopefully, you guys put some bets on this game because this is my lock game of the week. 100% Niners are going to win. And with the Cardinals, you don't wish on anyone's downfall, but I never liked the Cardinals, right? I mean, in my lifetime, I only met one Cardinals fan. It is really bad for them. Kyler Murray being out there, Cliff Kingsbury, horrible offensive year for him, and the feud that he had with his starting QB, who was the second highest paid QB in the league, by the way. And then D Hop, who looks like he's coming to his last days. JJ Watt announcing he's going to be retiring after this year. What do you do, right? What do you do? But luckily for us, we don't got to worry about that. The 49ers have a great club, great staff, great management. So good for us. Faithful then, faithful now. And hopefully you guys get to enjoy the game. And until next time, keep on grinding, faithful.